Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on Richard III and we only have 2 days of Richard III left before we're done with it. And then we move on to another play that starts with an R that I'm pretty sure you've heard of a bajillion times and probably seen a few movie adaptations thereof. But before we get into that, we need to finish up with this Act 5, Scene 2, as it is known in the folio, Act 5, Scene 3, and then 4 and 5, as they are known in other versions. We're still in Act 5-3, as it's known in other versions. And in this scene, we're preparing for war. We have Richmond's side over here, and we have Richard's side over here, and they're about to start fighting each other. And, the night before, they each wrote some letters, and they got some sleep. And Stanley told Richmond to attack first thing in the morning. I'll tell Richard you're coming a little bit later, so hopefully you can get a jump on him. And then there were all these ghosts who told Richard that they hope that he dies miserably, and they told Richmond that they hope that he wins triumphantly. So Richard woke up and he was all shaken, and he's not sure that the men on his side are going to fight on his side. So he was unsure about that and had a little bit of doubt for probably the first time in the play about himself. And then we got to see Richmond, who woke up in a fantastic mood because he had these lovely dreams where everybody was on his side and he's got the power of God behind him. So he gave a rousing, pre-battle speech to his team a couple of days ago where he's like, we have right on our side, we have God on our side, so let's go kick some Richard butt. And then we got to see Richard come back in with Ratcliffe and some of his other people, and they were sort of ripping on Richmond and yeah, he's not that good of a fighter anyway, and all this sort of stuff, blah, 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 along those lines. And then they get word that Richmond is attacking now. And so Richard gave us his battle plan yesterday, but then Norfolk comes in with a letter that had been attached to his tent that says, watch your back, Norfolk. Your boss has been bought and sold. So he has this letter telling him that Richard has been betrayed. And Richard's like, a thing devised by the enemy. Go, gentlemen, every man to his charge. Let not our babbling dreams affright our souls, for conscience is a word that cowards use, devised at first to keep the strong in awe. Our strong arms be our conscience, swords our law. March on! Join bravely, let us to it pell-mell, if not to heaven, then hand in hand to hell. And he's talking to everybody, all of his men. What shall I say more than I have inferred? Remember whom you are to cope withal, a sort of vagabonds, rascals and runaways, a scum of Britons and base lackey peasants, whom their o'ercloyed country vomits forth to desperate adventures and assured destruction. You, sleeping safe, they bring you to unrest. You, having lands and blessed with beauteous wives, they would restrain the one, disdain the other. And who doth lead them? But a paltry fellow, long kept in Brittany at our mother's cost, a milksop, one that never in his life felt so much cold as overshoes in snow. Let's whip these stranglers o'er the seas again. Lash hence these o'erweening rags of France, these famished beggars weary of their lives, who, but for dreaming on this fond exploit, for want of means, poor rats, had hanged themselves. If we be conquered, let men conquer us, and not these bastard Britons whom our fathers have in their own land beaten, bobbed, and thumped, and on record left them the heirs of shame. Shall these enjoy our lands, lie with our wives, ravish our daughters? Hark, I hear their drum. Right, gentlemen of England, fight boldly, yeomen. Draw archers, draw your arrows to the head, spur your proud horses hard, and ride in blood. Amaze the welkin with your broken statues. What says Lord Stanley? Will he bring his power? So, that's his rousing speech to his men. He starts out just with the group that's immediately around him, with Ratcliffe and Norfolk and stuff like that. He's like, okay, time to go. We got to go this, and we're going to be strong. We're going to fight bravely, all that sort of thing. And then he goes out and he speaks to the rest of his army, and he's like, remember who we're fighting. these are a bunch of worthless idiots. And if they win, they're going to take over your country. They're going to take your wives. They're going to take your land. These are people who our forefathers have already beaten, and they're trying again. So we need to beat them back again. So everybody go, everybody fight, everybody be strong, be vigilant. Let's go and beat down these stupid idiots that are coming in, led by a man who's not even worth talking about, kind of a thing, is his whole campaign. He's for the muckraking sort of campaigning. And then at the very end, a messenger comes in and he's like, where is Stanley? Where is Lord Stanley and his army? Is he coming? And the messenger says, no, he declines to come. And Richard's like, all right, then kill his son. But then they're like, no, but we're being attacked right now. So maybe we take care of that execution after the war. And Richard's like, okay, fine. We're going to go fight this war and then I'm going to kill him. But right now we got to go win this war. And that is the end of what other versions call Act 5, Scene 3. So we're going to stop there. We've got one more day. We'll do the full wrap up tomorrow. And then the day after, we'll dig into a new play. But first, we got to figure out who wins this war. Who do you think wins? Is it Richmond? Is it Richard? Leave a thing in the comments. And I'll see you tomorrow as we wrap it up. Mwah.